What's up, guys? Welcome to the Shelby Clement podcast. This is a podcast where we are going to talk about everything. Like, literally nothing is off limits. We are figuring out business, life, religion, and motherhood all at one time. I am a small town girl chasing a big old dream that's here to let you in on this entire journey as I completely surrender to Jesus and let him guide me on what he has next. This podcast is going to be filled with raw solo episodes from yours truly. I'm going to bring you along on the journey every week of what I have going on, as well as I'm going to interview big brand names, aka women that have done what I am doing, that are willing to get unfiltered and raw with us to bring you along on their journey as well. Guys, I hope you freaking love this podcast. I am here just to be a girlfriend, a friend, a mentor, whatever it is, to let you know that you are not alone in this journey called life and building a business and chasing your God-given talent. Guys, welcome to the Shelby Clement podcast. Let's get to it. Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. We are the nudist in the freaking nude. I was going to say wild, but that doesn't make sense with it. I have Sarah here. She is one of the 10 that got chosen to be a nudist. And we're just going to talk about our journey. We're going to talk about what she has planned, who she is, all the things. Thanks so much for joining the podcast.
Thank you, Shelby, for having me. I'm so excited. Like, when I tell you being home back in reality, I cannot, wrapping my head around what we just went through. I can't even put the words to it.
Maybe that's why I can't record a podcast episode, because I'm like, I don't even know what happened. It was such a whirlwind, but it was also like out of left field. You know what I mean?
I know. Yes. No, I've had family members and friends, call me for that elevator pitch, and it's just like a constant stutter.
Yeah. Wait, okay.
Yeah.
So have you had conversations with anybody yet on like, how did you apply? How did you get this opportunity? Like, have you had that question yet?
Yes, I've actually had a ton of that question, especially because, I was off social media for a bit and then I came back huge and just diving right into it. So let me just, yes, it's short answer.
It's wild. So those of you that are listening to this, and I have a solo episode out about like everything nudes for everybody to have questions, but we did not apply for this at all. So I want you to kind of tell your journey too, because I know a little bit of it, but I want you to be able to tell it from your perspective. Guys, Sarah wasn't even on Instagram, okay? They found her on TikTok, and I'm going to let her tell her story because I think it was just so beautiful, and the fact that we love a supportive husband. So just go dive in. Let us know how you even got started to like get back online and why.
Mhm.
Tell them what you do in real life, because you are not a content creator / influencer yet. We're going all in this year. She is now, y'all. Let me rephrase. She is now. But give them a little backstory of you, and then like how this kind of just came to fruition for you.
Absolutely. So I'll start with the whole Instagram TikTok thing. So about 2.5 years ago, just for mental health purposes, just kind of, decided to step back from Instagram and social media as a whole. And then TikTok kind of took over. I was doom scrolling and I was like, you know what? I don't know anybody here, so why not? Went for it a little bit, fell off, had my beautiful baby about 4.5 months ago. And my husband saw that while I was, being creative online, that I was happy. And so he suggested, why don't you just post every day, just something about, your outfit, something you're going through, you and Amelia. And so that's what I started doing. So in reality, it was just to get me out of bed during those, first few months of postpartum. And that's how they found me. I just kept up with it. It was a 14-day series. And I think I got contacted on about day 10 or 11. So when I tell you those series, they really hold some weight, even though, you don't really know.
Yeah.
Because I really wasn't doing it for, that attention grab or, seeking anything. It was just really for me.
Yeah, for you. And I think, you know what I love the most about a lot of there was multiple things that she said here. Number one, nobody really talks about postpartum. And like when I had babies, I mean, mine are 6 and about to be 7 and 5. You just didn't talk about it. So like obviously you're home, you just had a baby, people are like figure out how to survive, but also like take care of your hormones and everything. So like with your husband being so supportive and saying like, I need to just see you online every day. I know this is like, which is so weird because like normally people are like, wait, what? Go online. But like he wanted to see that she was doing great online. And like that was a good motivator for you. And I think that that's just so beautiful that y'all share that. Number two, what she said verbatim out of her mouth is, I don't know anybody over there. So why not? And I think that the biggest indication with a lot of stopping other people from going and doing these things is the fact that they know the people and that they're going to judge. And so like obviously you had that moment and you had that thought because you didn't go to Instagram, you went to TikTok.
Mhm.
How freeing was it the moment you just started posting?
On Instagram or TikTok.
Well, TikTok because you didn't know anybody
Yeah.
over there.
It was honestly such a confidence boost because, like you said, knowing the people is what stopped me. So, kind of building a oh my goodness, tight knit community with strangers, that are going through the same things as me was really kind of what kept me going.
Yeah.
And I also do want to preface because you said it perfectly. It is kind of like a nuance that husband's like, I want to see you online. He did go back to work like a week and a half after I had Amelia, so that was like a huge thing. So, I went from being home with him to doing it by myself. So that was, that motivator.
I think that's
Forgot to
just
add that.
so cool, honestly, because he knew what you needed in that moment.
Right?
And a lot of people, we just talked about this morning because yesterday you posted about your husband and today I posted about my husband, that we live in a world where people think it's either cool to downplay their husband or they really just downplay their husband because they don't like him. And to hear someone speak very highly of their husband that supported you in your postpartum journey, of showing up online as like, this makes me happy. And now I have a great community on TikTok of women that are like, thank you for showing up and doing this. Now, talk about, when did you actually start posting on Instagram again?
So it was actually around the time we got that email. Month and a half ago, 2 months, I started posting a little bit more consistently.
Yeah.
Um, but when my daughter was born, that's, kind of the hello, this is what I've been doing, or this is what I had done. And so just sharing her journey, because I will say it was a very private, small knit, family and friends, colleagues. So that.
So, whenever you did decide to post on Instagram, what was the initial feeling when you hit post? And then what was also the reaction you got from that platform versus TikTok?
Yeah. Um, Terrified. No, one word, period, terrified. Um, but the feedback I got was mixed, I will say. A lot more positive on TikTok than
Mhm.
Instagram. Um, but I will say that with all of the loss, the growth counteracts that. And so that's something, that I'm learning throughout this journey too, is being uncomfortable, losing things and people that you thought that would be in your corner that are just kind of like stepping back, being like, hey, it's not for me. That's okay. You just keep going and you keep showing up, because at the end of the day, I'm doing what's best for me, my family, and the people closest to me.
Oh, I bet so many people can relate to that on multiple levels. Number one, because you hear it talked about online that, like, when you start going after your dreams, people think you're crazy. And the people that you thought would support you the most are actually the people that support you the least. And I just actually was scrolling right before we got on this call and it said something, I don't remember exactly what it said, but it's like, influencing influencing is like cool until it's someone you know. And so that is so true, because it's like, if we could actually just lift each other up, because influencing and content creation is a job in itself. It is an actual real job and there's a lot of money to be had. And you are talking about people that are putting themselves out there, getting very uncomfortable, understanding that they are going to get negative feedback. People are going to pick their bodies apart, their voices apart, call them crazy, call them stupid, whatever, but you show up anyway. And you doing this, I think that, and I told you this either last night or today or something, but I have just so much more respect because you literally are 4 months postpartum. And when you are postpartum and you're putting yourself out there and you're uncomfortable, like, your hormones are already out of whack and you're already in this mindset that you're just like, no, this is like the opportunity of a lifetime. I'm just going to like grab the horns and say, you know what? it's okay if they don't support me because I'm going to do it for me and my family. And I think that that's just so admirable for you to say that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what are you so excited? Okay, wait, where were you? Let me go back because I feel like we just have to take a moment for this opportunity because I'm going to do it with every single one of you. Where were you exact moment when you got the email? What was your initial reaction and who did you call first?
So I was on the way to Ohio, actually, to my husband's graduation. He was graduating with his master's. So, literally on the way there, I was kind of shocked. Didn't know how to really take it. Um, I exactly what's going on right now. Speechless,
Yeah.
didn't know what to say, didn't know how to feel. And the first person I called was my mom because Evan was right next to me. He was driving.
So
But
he was
that
already there.
reaction,
Whatever.
yeah, so that
Yeah.
reaction in a whole was just, yeah.
Yeah. What did your mom say? Did she understand the caliber or was she just like, "Oh, sweetie, I'm so proud of you." Like, did she know what it meant?
At the time, she did not. Once she did her research a little bit more, it was kind of like, okay, let's just explore what this may, bring to the table. It's when I got back and was telling them how much they were investing in us, how much, business oriented it was, even though it looked like just fun, it was work. Um, like
All of it's work. What do you mean? We even had
it
this
was
conversation
not
yesterday.
it was nonstop. And so when they saw that side of it and the networking and just the community behind it, that's whenever they, told me, go all in, you have our support.
That's so awesome because I do feel like this is what I've experienced too, just being online when I launched my business 4.5 years ago, people made fun of me and they said, "Oh, you're just going to go dance on the internet." Instead of, I wasn't an influencer or a content creator. It was me doing marketing for other businesses. Right. And
Right.
so I didn't wrap my head around it. My family loved, like they were supportive, but they didn't understand it. So they thought I was still borderline crazy until they can see like a tangible thing, like see what it is and it entails. They're like, "Oh, wow." Like I remember when I was coming there, I was like, I feel like no one really understands this caliber. And it's not because they don't support you and love you, it's because they don't get it. But I can't speak for you. I'm sure you say the same thing, but like I didn't expect that either. Like every time I turned around, it was like something new. And I was just like, holy shit, what we learned in just that 2 days that we were there. Can you imagine what a year is going to hold for this?
Right. Yes.
So, anyway, okay. So, you talked to your mom, right?
Mhm.
So, now when we went to Dallas, did you know what to expect?
No,
What
not at all.
shocked you the most when we went to Dallas?
Um, Man, that's a good question. So I did arrive late.
Yes.
So I missed, y'all were all together powwowing from about what, 9 o'clock to
Yeah.
dinner. So I was super, super nervous walking in as solo, but the community, how everybody just accepted me, knowing that I was 4 months postpartum. I had the anxieties I was going through, the things, like you said, hormonally that I was, more embarrassed about, but everybody just accepted that
Yeah.
and uplifted me in a way that I've never had before in my life, honestly.
I think that I talked about this earlier is how they cultivated such a group of women is
Hmm.
absolutely mind-blowing to me because
Hmm.
it's very supportive, very normal human beings. Like, it's like the most normal human beings. I mean, we skipped over this, but Sarah, tell them what you do actually for a living.
Yes. So I am a pediatric occupational therapist. And so what I do is I primarily focus in the ages 3 and below, but really any pediatric age, which goes up to 21. And in my field, I really hone in on children who are missing their milestones, need a little bit extra care and support in their, daily life and routines, and also who have intellectual and developmental delay.
And now you are first off,
Hmm.
you were already doing great things, but you now get to be a nudist. And it's just so
Yep.
cool that like how I think it's just so cool first off how God works of like you are
Hmm.
doing one thing And then you literally are doing something that he definitely had a say
Mhm.
in, where you're
Yes.
showing up online to give you your grit and your joy back and just to like exist. And now
Right.
you literally got an email that was like, "Hey, I want you
Mhm.
to be a nudist with 10 other women
Mhm.
that are truly just impeccable." So I feel like
Yes.
what is one of the just because I want to watch this back like in a year for us and we'll do like a recap of like where you are in 1 year. But what is one thing that you just pray that you get out of this entire experience?
Just confidence. My confidence back. I like you said, I was doing great and I was doing great things in my normal day-to-day life, doing OT, you know, seeing my clients, doing the routine I have at my house with my husband. And then, pregnancy was so hard on just my mental, overall my body. And so it completely transformed me in a way and tugged at my heart in a way that I had no idea,
Yeah.
wrecked me in a way I had no
Yeah.
idea. So this year, I really want to get back to where I was and even more, but in a way for my daughter, my family, just be a light rather than, flashy, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Well, I
Yes.
think what's gonna help with this entire process is that you're a real human. Like, your goal was never to be an influencer or a content creator.
Uh,
Your trajectory has changed, and, like, you have the ability to be whatever you want now. I mean,
right.
not that you did it prior, but, like, you're now familiar with something that you weren't prior, and
Right.
now we're surrounded by people that we can, like, truly learn from, and I
Right.
just think that that's so cool, and, like, I think what's really going to be huge and successful for you is that you are real, you are down to earth, and people can see that through content, and they can see that through just who Sarah is as a human being. So I already see the confidence coming back, and I've only known you for, like, point 0.5 seconds.
I know. It's wild.
I'm in the nudes. Just kidding. I actually just want to talk to y'all about nudes. Y'all, if you have not heard about this brand, it is probably one of the best brands that you can have as a working mom, a stay-at-home mom, a lady that really wants to just be professional and throw on a blazer. You have anything from a slinky rib tee to the perfect tee to literally the everyday tee. They have something for every single thing. You have your matching set just like this. The PJs are out of this freaking world. I have probably a million of them. And the best part about what Daralan did when she created this brand is the whole goal of nudes is to fit real bodies, meaning whether you maybe have tried a shirt on and maybe it hugs your arm in the wrong place so it feels really big, or maybe it's the waist where it pinches your love handles, or maybe your armpit fat, whatever it is, it really does make you feel confident. I'm a mom of 2 boys. I own a business, and so there's days that I can dress like this and go to carpool drop off, and then there's days where I have to actually get on stage and present in front of a lot of people. Nudes has actually been in my closet and has been a staple of my wardrobe for years. It has helped me with my confidence level no matter what shape or size I was in, whether that was after babies, before babies, whatever the case was. There was always something that really did just fit my body exactly how I needed it to for me to feel confident and elevated at the same time. It is literally the best basics that you can add to any collection in your closet, and it honestly has become the go-to thing that I've grabbed every day. So if you are someone new to nudes and you've never heard of it, don't worry. I have a link in my show notes for you to grab. And also, guess what? I have a 20% code for you to utilize right now. So you can also get obsessed with nudes and then thank me later. Or maybe your husband will be mad because you'll have such an obsession. But hey, at least we'll be cute, matching, and confident. Check out the link. Let me know what you think, and I'll chat with you soon.
Keep
No,
going.
but I do have to add something that I totally forgot about
Yeah.
when you were asking about, where I was and, receiving that email. I think this plays like a huge role, and it's a God thing, and just trusting what he has in store for you even though it doesn't look like what you planned for yourself. So on that road or on that trip, you know how every couple goes. You're talking through your successes, you're talking through the things that that you might want to change, just grow together. What might happen if X, Y, and Z, just fabricating everything. And my husband reminded me of this last night. I looked at him and I said, "You're going to make it big in engineering, and I'm going to make it big online OT. I just don't know when or how yet." I'm not kidding, Shelby. That email came in within 2 hours.
That just gave me chills and, like,
Mhm.
everything at one time.
I totally forgot that that happened, and the fact that he told me that last night, I mean, I just had to share.
Now we have it timestamped in real
I
life. So now
know.
we can say, like, this is what happened for Sarah. She
I
about to like
know.
make it big. Girl, I can tell you, like, in that you weren't in this meeting, because obviously delayed and we had the winter storm come out of freaking nowhere. But what Daryl did say, because every single one of us, no matter at what caliber we are, because like we have all talked about it, there's so many people with a bunch of followers, there's so many people that aren't, like whatever, there's a happy medium. But she said, one thing that I noticed about all of you ladies when we did choose you is that we see something in you that you don't see, or that we know you have it. Because like truly, I say it all the time too, even when I hire employees to work for me, is you either have the creative mind or you don't, to be able to create content for our clients. It's the same thing with us. And just hearing someone else say that, I didn't take it lightly. And like, I don't think you would have either if you were there in that moment to hear that, because like we were all hand chosen. And I just think it's just so stinking cool to have someone of that caliber be like, I know your name, I see something in you, and I want to help you get there.
Right? Yes. I thank you for sharing that, because that is something I needed to hear, because I did hear it through the grapevine, but just the reiteration is honestly what I feel like we all needed just to continue going. And you said that the fact that she knew who we were, her saying, "Hello, Sarah, nice to meet you," when I walk into the room blew my
I
mind.
know. Did you almost pass out? I literally, like, what? You know me? I know you. You know me? We know each other? Oh my God. So it's not weird?
Yeah.
Wait, so when I first met her, because like I've been following her for a long time, right? And so when I was the first one that got there. Weirdly, I did not plan that, but whatever. I got there and then Rob walks in, and my friend, I said, I just met Robert. And she goes, did you fangirl? And I was like, no. Secretly, I was freaking out. But on the outside, you have to be like composed. And I'm like,
Right?
oh, well, congratulations on your baby. How's Blair? And I was just like so chill, but I wanted to be like, oh my God, where's Blair? What are you doing? But like, you can't. But like, they know who you are. And then when we met
Mhm.
Kaylee and then like Daryl, and then I'm just like, this can't be real. Like, there was moments that I was just like, this can't be real life. And then you know what else made me feel better too? And I feel you, I mean, when we also, we got to talk about the hallway. Oh my God, we got to talk about the hallway. But when we like hearing other women in the room say, I have imposter syndrome, I don't feel worthy of being here or whatever, it just validated that no matter where you are in your life, whether you have a lot of, followers, whether you're super successful in your business, whatever it is, we all fight the same fight and we're all going through the same mindset as each of us.
Mhm.
And I think it was just so cool that everybody was so open about that in the whole time that we were there.
Mhm. Agreed.
So the hallway. Did you expect to have the hallway moment?
Mm-mm.
What
No.
was happening in your brain for the hallway moment? Did you say, thank you, Jesus, for making me stay this one more night? Because like otherwise we'd be at the airport. Like, what did you say in that moment?
Um, I think, well, one, I was getting, pictures of Amelia and videos of like, come home, mommy, I miss you, I miss you. And I'm like, okay, I'm busy. Like,
Love
you don't
you.
understand. Um,
Every mom's journey right now, like as we're sitting in the hallway with Daryl Ann. It's fine, no big deal. Continue.
like, I don't mean to be rude, but she's really cute.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Um, no, I think it was just, I kept thinking, like, is this real life? Like, this is real. Because the fact that, we are all sitting here on the floor, eye level, no phones, being raw, and just like talking about, like you keep saying, like the insecurities, just about daily struggles that, you see someone online be so successful with, and you think that, oh, that could never be me. But knowing that you're the same. Like, we're at the end of the day, we're still women, we're still moms, we still have the same goal of protecting and supporting our families. And it's just so cool to see, and hear from an actual success story.
Yeah, and I honestly think like one of the things that I admired so much more about her in real life is how assertive she is, number one, and how boundary centric she is, and just how blunt. Like she is like, no. And I'm like,
Mhm.
I want
that more in my life
Yes.
with me to protect my energy. She's like, "No, you need to be doing this. Like, you need to be doing this."
Right.
And like, absolutely not. That's a no. And
Right.
like, just to hear her say that, I was just like, okay,
Right.
well, like, we need to have more authority of our own lives than we
Mm,
give ourselves.
right. And I think you had touched on a huge thing, the no, and, being not afraid to speak up, because it wasn't criticism. It was out of love and it was out of growth. And I feel like a lot of times when people hear something that they don't want to hear, they take it, I don't, how would you say? They take it negatively
Oh,
when,
100%.
right? And so when in reality it's no, I want to help you grow. And
Yeah.
so seeing that from her and like just experiencing that like in the hallway was just such a unique experience, because it was the first time of validating of, what? I see you. This is what you need to do, and this is how you need to do it to get it done. It
Yeah.
wasn't harsh. It was, no malintent. It was just love.
Yeah, and I think I was very shocked because, like, anybody that has followed me or whatever, I've done so many things just talking about the success of Daryl Ann's brand and, like, using it as, like, a teaching point of, like, how she built such a powerful personal brand and then launched a clothing brand that is just, like, through the roof and, like, obviously, like, dissected, like, how she did it, obviously. So I'm, like, here for your brain. So I was like, when I teased about it on social media, everybody was like, "Oh my God, you're getting her on the podcast or whatever." And when I asked her that question in the hallway, first off, insecure Shelby almost just crawled into my butthole and hid forever. But for those listening, like, what the hell did you ask? I was like, "Hey, how do I get people on my podcast at your caliber?" Well, first off, that was egotistical of me to say. Second, it was like the reason why it was in the way how she responded is ultimately how I respond to people too at this stage of my life. So I couldn't take it offensive because she was like, I don't mean to be rude, but like, what is the value for the people that you want to interview? Number one. And two, time is money. So, like, why would they
Mhm.
actually do that? Like, why would they benefit? And I was like, touche, because I say the same thing. If it doesn't benefit me in some caliber and time is money. So, like, when I'm not working, I'm with my kids. And
Mhm.
so I was just like, wow. But it took her to tell me that, to say, like, it's nothing about against you. It's not saying that your podcast isn't great. It's not saying you're not great. It's just saying, like, you're not a priority in their life right now. And that's also okay.
Right.
And to be
Right.
able to take that with like steel armor, I'm a failure. Old Shelby would be like, I'm a failure. Why am I even here? I'm kidding. But like, it's just so cool. And it's like, just, we were texting yesterday about this and like, about how getting back into the real world is like a slap in the face right now. How's
Yep.
that? You want to elaborate on that a little bit for your from your point of view?
Yeah. So it's been, I'm still riding the high. I'm gonna try to ride it as long as possible. Um, but I think it's hard, but it's also what I needed, because it reminded me of what's out there. I guess I didn't realize how fast postpartum can hit you,
Yeah.
and how isolated you can get super fast. Because I do have a group of good friends that have babies around the same age, but not super close.
Yeah.
So it's really, just a smaller community here in my parents. And so just coming back with this newfound energy and I guess drive to get up and, put my makeup on, or, to, be frank, to even put a bra on
Yeah.
for the day is just like completely life changing. And because it tricked that motivation and it got the snowball rolling into, I can do this. I can do this while I'm at home. Daryl Landon this weekend showed me that I can do it at home. And so it's just harnessing into that. And that, I think, is the hardest part, is continuing that grit and
Yeah.
waking up in my own bed
Yeah.
with my baby, rather than, a itinerary we had to follow. Um, so it's just that, I think the structure and everything that we had that weekend that was go, 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 is lost, is probably the hardest part.
I know. And then coming back and being like, oh wait, now what? Because it was just so, we're moms, we have jobs, we have all
Right.
these things that we have to actually accomplish, that it's just like, how do we continue to show up? Which Obviously we do. So I never really like I obviously create content for a living, but not on this caliber. So I really have been slapped in the face with holy shit, this is really hard. So I will say that, like, whatever. But I will also say my community and like the same with yours. And I've seen like your stories and stuff. It's just wild the support you get when you bet on yourself and you take a risk because they can
Mhm.
see the passion and the drive that actually comes through. Everybody can see through fake that I just feel like this is just so good.
Mhm.
I love it. And
Yeah.
I'm just so excited for you.
Yes, and I don't know, I feel like something that I noticed too in, receiving all of the feedback is the people who are super, super gung ho and tell me to go for it, dive deep, are entrepreneurs and business owners. Like, if that doesn't say anything,
I
I
don't know
don't
what else
know.
is.
Yeah.
And if they have anything, wait, there was a video I shared this morning on my stories. His name is Billy, forgot his last name. He's like went viral for his king cakes in Louisiana. And he says like,
Yeah.
you understand? And he's like, at the end, he goes like, just F them. And I was like, whoa, you just like prayed St. Michael and you're literally saying F them. And he's like, just forgive them. And I'm like, I actually like the way that you just put that together because ultimately, like, we're gonna get hate online. Like how Daryl said, like she gets equally as much hate, if not more. You weren't there for that, but she did say this is she gets equally as much hate as she does love, if not more. But it's just how you interpret that person. Like they're going through something. It's not about you. It's about them. Like you're doing this for the good, the greater good, the purpose that God gave you. Like it's just you just can't worry about other people. And so I
Yep.
think that you hit the nail on the head when you just said, like, when you dream big and you surround yourself with people that dream big too, the sky's the limit. And that's why I ultimately believe that you are who you surround yourself with is such a key essential thing to have when you are chasing such dreams that do, in fact, sound crazy to every normal
Mhm.
person. Sarah, oh my God. Okay. So if you were to give like three pieces of advice and this gets edited, so you can easily like take a minute and
Okay.
digest, but easily three pieces of advice to someone that maybe was the old you or the yesterday you or the day before you got the nudes email you that wants to go for it, that could be fighting postpartum, just depression, um, just feeling like they were made for more, like what three key essential pieces of advice would you give them to just start?
The first piece I think is just to show up. Um, and I know that's broad and everybody says that, but I think a thing online is, are you talking about online or just in general?
In general, you can do it in both.
Okay.
Whatever comes
Um,
to your little heart.
yeah. So I think what the piece of advice to start out with online, just showing up, is you don't have to be perfect. I think that's a stigma that we all have is social media. You have to look perfect, you have to act perfect, you have to say the right thing, have to use the right audio, you have to get the right clips. It's just such um a nuanced world that doesn't exist. And
Yeah.
so that's why I think, Instagram is, you have to be ready for your reels. You have to have a face full of makeup, where TikTok is throw your hair up in a bun, just get out that raw thought and move on.
Yeah.
So I think that is the thing. And I also see that shift getting back on Instagram too is nobody cares. And
Nobody
so
cares.
just realizing that the only person who cares is you is the biggest thing. And the second is you're your own worst criticist, or how would you say that?
Critique,
You
critic,
critic. You're
critic.
your own worst critic.
Listen to us, educated and all, y'all. You heard it here first.
Um, because, I catch myself sitting there rewatching or like clicking through my pictures and being like, oh my God, my hair is out of whack. Or look, you can see that in the background. My kitchen's a mess. Or, my dog looks, funny. And it's just, but that's reality. Like,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be real if I had a clean spick and span house all the
Yeah,
time,
for
or
sure.
if I was put together all the time. That's not real. And so just showing up in that raw instance and being vulnerable too. And then third is staying true to yourself.
Ooh, good one.
Um, I think just in today's world, with being, heavily pushed on all of the perfect things you have to do being a mother, being a perfect spouse, being a perfect employee, just integrating back into society perfectly,
Yeah.
you set a stigma for yourself that is almost unachievable. And so, in climbing that, I just feel like your sense of self gets lost.
Yeah.
And so, just holding on to it truly matters, which is like we keep saying, is showing up for yourself and for your family.
Oh, that was really freaking good.
Mm. It's the
And
therapist. Hi. It's
everybody
the
hire a
therapist in me.
Everybody hire a therapist or hire Sarah. She only deals with ages 0 to 3, but she might make an exception for us.
Therapy works.
Therapy works. Okay. I'm so glad we did this because one, I want it to be a timestamp for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Last question is this before we wrap. What is one thing that you would tell younger Sarah right now in this moment?
Just wait. Just that's it. Just wait.
You're going to make me cry for you. That is
That's
so
all she wrote.
good. Oh my God, shut up.
Shelby.
Why are we so hormonal? What is happening?
Oh my God.
Okay, well, that was it, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Sarah for you. Okay, so anyway, let everybody know where they can find you, obviously on TikTok and Instagram now. Wow, okay, let me get my shit together.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's both usernames on both handles, and it's sarah.defrisha. And it's just my first and last name.
And I'll put everything in the show notes for y'all to easily click. Go follow her. Listen to me when I say this. Go follow her. She's awesome. If you love this episode, let her know. Get in her DMs. Have a conversation with her. Ask her questions. She's a therapist just to 3-year-olds, but you're the exception, everybody on Instagram. But anyway, if y'all like this episode, please leave us a review, share, comment. Let us see all the love. And until next time, we hope you have a freaking fabulous day.